For the first time in over 7 years, we are now in price discovery for XRP. In this video, I want to break down exactly what that means for XRP moving forward and really why this is so important to long-term appreciation of XRP. Now, many people have probably realized that for the past 6, 7, 8 years, XRP has essentially been stuck under its 2018 all-time high. There's some debate about what that all-time high number really is, which is a whole nother very interesting thing. Right now, it looks like that previous all-time high was around 344, which XRP very clearly just broke through. Now, there's other people who say the all-time high for XRP is around 380. Not really. Essentially what happened was back in 2018, there was some exchanges that had really low liquidity for XRP. They let XRP get all the way up to 380, but that's not really looked at as the actual all-time high. So the only place where there's actually real XRP volume at above the 340 level is the all-time high of 344. And other than that, there's really no actual exchange volume or sell volume up at those levels. So the XRP price chart is now in price discovery mode for the first time in 7 to 8 years. And what this means is that there's no one who has ever purchased XRP who is now down on that XRP purchase. We're also past all of the major sell walls because all the major sell walls really were put in places where there was a lot of previous XRP trading data. That is now no longer the case. Now all the XRP sell walls have essentially been taken out, and the XRP price chart is really in a mode to appreciate as high as really demand is going to take it. We're no longer in places where XRP is going to be stuck in very long-term trading patterns. Now, this is not to say that when XRP gets to $5, there's not going to be some kind of XRP sell volume there, and then at $10, obviously at these higher prices, you're going to continue to see sellers come in. But it opens up a whole nother question, right? Who is going to be selling XRP at those levels? And this is something that I don't think a lot of people have really considered. Obviously, there's going to be people looking to take profit on XRP who's been holding it for the past 7 to 8 years. But the vast majority of people I talk to are really not interested in taking those small profits for XRP. Most people invested in XRP are not there for a quick 10x, right? They are there to see the entire vision of what XRP is completely play out. And if XRP's vision fully plays out as being this global neutral liquidity asset, right? That's not going to equal a $7 to $8 XRP. It's not going to equal a $10 XRP. It's going to be something astronomically larger. And because the vast majority of people holding XRP are here for that reason, it creates a very interesting dynamic of where people are actually going to be willing to sell any amount of XRP. Yes, there's going to be people willing to take profits at certain price levels. But how many people are willing to just completely cash out of XRP prior to any of the big things that we all think are possible to happen actually happening? The vast majority of the people I talk to want to see those things play out. It doesn't really matter what price XRP goes to. It matters what's actually happening, right? When are these big financial institutions going to start stepping in? When do we actually see the rewiring of the financial system as we know it today start playing out? That's what I want to see for me to be willing to start parting ways with some of my XRP. Because until those things happen, I know we haven't actually seen the level of adoption that I know is possible. And until we start to see that level of adoption, I don't think we're going to see an accurately priced XRP. Us in the XRP community, we have this distinct advantage of being able to foresee some of these things that we think are possible. But the vast majority of people can't think like that. They're stuck in this mindset of, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. And that's why so many people have been so late to XRP. It's a much level higher form of thinking than just saying, okay, well, this is a non-inflationary thing, therefore it's digital gold, right? XRP is not that simple. It requires a deep understanding of the frictions of the current banking system. It requires a deep understanding of monetary policy. It requires a deep understanding of why these cryptocurrency networks aren't so important to traditional financial institutions. And the vast majority of crypto people just aren't there yet. They're still focused on what is the chart doing, what's happening today, what's the current narrative going on in terms of NFTs or something like that. They're just not focused on these real world use cases. And for me, right, I think one day people are gonna start to figure that stuff out. I think it's gonna have to be right in front of them, posted on a CNBC announcement, Bank of America now using XRP for cross liquidity settlement between different institutions, right? I think they're going to have to be told these things, but I think they're eventually going to figure it out. And I wanna be an XRP when that stuff starts happening, right? I'm not looking to take these short-term profits right now, when in my opinion, nothing has really changed, right? Some people are starting to figure out that we've been spot on this entire time, but it's still not at the level I know it's going to be at. So we're just starting price discovery now. And right now, I would still argue that XRP is severely undervalued in comparison to where it should be trading at. In my opinion, since you have Bitcoin, right, 3 to 4x its previous 2018 all-time high, XRP is undervalued until it's 3 to 4x its previous all-time high at $3. So that's a $10 XRP just to get to the point where I think it's probably fairly valued based off the market conditions today. But I don't even think these market conditions, even if that was to happen, means it's fairly valuing XRP for what it can be. It just means based off the speculative hype markets we're stuck in right now, XRP at $8 to $9 would at least be keeping pace to where I would expect XRP to be trading based off of where the market is at for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's like you get all the fundamentals for free. You get all these great things that Ripple's doing with XRP, all these new projects coming to the XRP ledger, all this new development in terms of the ETFs, in terms of the Ripple SEC case ending. You're getting all of that for free because regardless of any of those things we just talked about, XRP is severely undervalued just comparing it to the rest of the cryptocurrency market. And price discovery is when I think we're going to start closing a lot of those gaps. For whatever reason, XRP tends to move in a different time frame than the rest of the cryptocurrency market. The rest of the cryptocurrency market likes to slowly grind sideways. But for the first time ever, XRP is now going parabolic in completely uncharted territory. The last time this happened was 2017, 2018. And what happened? The price totally ripped away from any of its previous trading history, going up 52,000% in the course of a year. Are we going to see that same level of volatility? Is it going to be a little less because XRP's larger market cap now? We'll have to wait and see. So far, this time around, if you were to really compare it to the 2017-2018 cycle, we've seen about the same size in moves. It's just taken a little longer for those moves to play out. So the big thing here for me is yes, this price action is extremely exciting. All-time high is just huge, right? It shows that all the people saying that XRP would never reach an all-time high were dead wrong. It was always obvious for us because, well, of course it's going to reach a new all-time high. The fundamentals are through the roof. And if things like Bitcoin and Ethereum can be hitting all-time highs, there's no reason XRP can't. But this is the validation for all those people that they've been dead wrong about it. And now they're going to have to reevaluate their own theses. They're going to have to come back and say, why did I get this XRP thing so wrong? What's actually happening here? Why is this thing taking off and why am I missing out on it? And that's where you start to have the compounding effect. That's what sends something like XRP and price discovery astronomically higher, because so many people are now going to be going back and understanding the things that we have been saying for a long time. For whatever reason, they can't figure this stuff out on their own. They need the price action to validate the things they're thinking. That's the thing we haven't needed. We didn't need XRP's price action to validate the things we knew, right? We knew these things were coming. We knew they were going to play out, and we knew it was going to impact price. Therefore, we were able to take these calculated bets that XRP was going to do these things without having to see the price action confirm it. Most of the people in crypto, they can't do that. They need to see the price breaking out. They need to see things moving. And then they can go out and start saying, oh, well, it's happening because of this. It's happening because of that. We didn't need that. We knew these things were going to come, and we knew that these things were actually being worked on, and the vast majority of people just had a hard time accepting it. This is all lining up at a very interesting time, because now we're essentially going mainstream with this to a much larger group than has ever touched the entire cryptocurrency asset class before. So not only is it these old people who doubted XRP for so long, but it's brand new people stepping into crypto now and saying, well, you know, Bitcoin's cool and all, but this XRP thing, I actually understand why this might be useful. I never understood cryptocurrency, but now this thing makes sense. It's like, it's faster, it's cheaper. Why wouldn't financial institutions use it? And a lot of these people coming in today are going to have a very different mindset and a very different mantra than the people of the past. The people of the past focused on things like max decentralization and token distribution. That's probably not going to be the things that people care about coming in the future, right? Wall Street's used to investing in firms based off of fundamentals. They're used to evaluating companies and who has the best technology and who's going to have the best network effect when it comes to a sticky technology that people won't be able to live without. They're not focused on the decentralization of the share classes put out there or how many large people are shareholders in X amount of the company. They don't look at those things because they know long term it doesn't matter. Successful technologies that are game-changing, that change the world, and are going to be sticky on an institutional level are going to attract orders of magnitude of capital that this market just hasn't seen yet. And right now we're seeing the very early stages of that being reflected in XRP's price. Is price discovery going to be something where tomorrow, boom, you wake up and it's $1 million XRP? No, I don't think so. But is it the start to proving that XRP can now appreciate to levels that has been held back to before in the past? Yes, and it's going to make a lot of people look at XRP completely differently. The next big thing I think we have to see on XRP is for it to flip Ethereum. I think that is going to be a cataclysmic shift in the way people look at the cryptocurrency market. For the longest time, people looked at, oh, it's Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think pretty soon it's going to be the Bitcoin and XRP story. And suddenly, out of nowhere, every single large financial institution is going to stop with this, oh, you put a little bit of cash in Bitcoin and a little bit in Ethereum. I think it's going to be, hey, buy some Bitcoin, buy some XRP. XRP is one of the few cryptocurrencies actually achieving the mass adoption that it needs to in order to succeed on an institutional network level. We're already seeing the early stages of this. That's why XRP is in price discovery right now. But for me, right, it's just another day in people slowly realizing what we have known for a while. But guess what? We're still not even close to what happens when XRP does the things we really know it can be. And I plan on being there for the entire journey and watching the entire things take place. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. And for now, Mickle out.